Mate, just want to say, thanks for plugging me a lot lately. I really,
I hate this.
I really appreciate it. It's every single time any sort of ravenous stuff happens, I really appreciate you.
That's all right. I'm in your corner.
Absolutely.
I've got your back.
And I will admit that I'm just speaking words right now because I want to drag out this intro part so it's long enough for the intro music to slowly kick in.
There's some insight. Well, I guess all that's left to say is go and stream Miss Sunshine. One last plug until the next one.
Hello and welcome back to another episode. Oh, hello. What's going on there?
Shaky start there, guys. Shaky start.
My goodness. Welcome back to another episode of Fine Leg to Full Forward. I don't normally do this bit, do I? I feel like I'm...
No, you don't.
Just starting things off. It's
You're doing it well.
Thanks,
I'm
mate.
proud of you. You're killing this.
Thanks, mate. It's an honour to open up the show. I feel like I don't know. It feels different now. I feel like I'm on a radio, like a radio show.
Well, it's not too dissimilar, is it? I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. It's more just like as soon as I introed it, it was like I felt like I was the host, and I was like, I've got a guest on the on like a radio show. I was like, that's what it felt like, and I was like, this feels kind of weird.
I hate to break it to you, mate. You are the host.
Oh yeah, true. We are co-hosts.
We are, funnily enough.
That's right. Sorry.
So we're just kicking off this week, guys, with a bit of an identity crisis. We're just going to get that out of the way pretty quickly.
We haven't had one. To be fair, we haven't had one for a while. I think it's been about 10 episodes since we had an existential crisis on air.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think you're spot on.
Which is a good effort for us. But
round of applause, I think, for us there.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We can hear that.
Yes. Speaking of radio, I guess. Hottest 100 happened over the weekend.
Round of applause for you, my friend. What a segue that was.
We obviously spent the day together on Saturday. Tell you what, it's been hot lately. I don't know. Have you felt it too?
It has been hot lately. It has been hot, and yeah, the hottest 100 day was no exception to that.
Yeah,
we were at a mate's place. Had a balcony overlooking the city, and we got a inflatable pool set up on the balcony. It was a bloody good day
with basketball hoops as well.
It had basketball hoops on either end of the inflatable pool. So we've mentioned before that it's a bit of a thing for us. It's a bit of a tradition. So despite the years when there's somewhat average countdowns, which I don't think that's too much of a big call
for this year.
Yep.
Look, I'm biased. The fact that I think there was one Aussie hip hop track in the entire, or one or two Aussie hip hop tracks in the entire 100. I'll agree, but I'm biased.
So despite the average countdowns, we always make it a good day. And if it's a thing for you and your mates as well, hope it was a good day for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a bit of a thing.
It's about the day, like the vibes.
It is about the vibes.
Yes.
And you weren't there the entire day, were you, mate?
No. My brother and sister-in-law are in town, and I had to bail slightly early because my brother's we had a little bit of a surprise 30th.
Oh, I'm already cringing again.
Surprise 30th birthday for him, and I had to leave early to sort of drive them, and so why don't you take?
Do you want me to tell it from my point of view?
Yeah.
So, been quite heavily invested in Tom Cardy. Tom Cardy's journey to fame, to stardom. She had a lot of his stuff with you and various other friends as well. And he did a lot higher than he did a lot better than I was expecting him to. He got a lot higher in the countdown.
Yes,
finished 17th and 11th. And to be honest, by the time we got to like the top 50 and I hadn't heard him, I'd forgotten. I didn't think he was going to be there at all.
Yeah.
And so Ashwin had gone by this point, and number 17 rolled around, and it was old mate Tom Cardy. And so
mixed messages.
It was mixed messages, yeah. Yeah, and then his other one was 11th, which was probably my favourite, to be honest. So I'd been drinking for a few hours at this point, so I was well on the way. Was literally jumping up and down with joy when Tom Cardy started playing, and I called Ashwin because obviously he wasn't there, and we've been on a bit of a journey together with him.
Yeah,
I think so.
Absolutely.
Called him, was jumping up and down for joy, screaming like, "Oh my God, it's Tom Cardy! How good, how funny is this? I can't believe he's done so well!" And then we're like, "Oh, can you hear it? Can you hear it?" Going back and forth a bit. I'm like, "All right, man, enjoy Naveen's 30th." Now, I didn't realise that you were... I just assumed you were at the party by now. But yeah, you were still in the car on the way down.
With my brother.
Yep. On the old Android Auto.
Yeah.
With him in the car.
Yes. And I didn't take one look at him, and no one said anything the entire car trip there. But we all knew. Like it was.
I hate it. I hate it so much. And like I didn't realize, did I? Like I messaged you the next day. It was like, "Oh, how was
it?" Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, you called me." I'm like, "What?" Like, "Oh yeah, about Tom Cardy." And then you're like, then you said what I said. I'm like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." It was bad.
It was good though. It was funny.
It was funny.
Actually, I don't think I've even talked to him about it.
I almost messaged him.
I gotta actually say that to him. I wonder if he actually noticed. He might have been so out of it, or I don't know. Maybe he wasn't even listening to the conversation. But
see, that doesn't make me feel better though, because I'm still going to be beating myself up about it no matter what. But something else that was low key beating myself up about was
you were
missing the Pels game.
Yes.
I don't miss many Pels games since my return to the side a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you've been a lot more consistent than I have, for sure.
And we obviously the Hottest 100 is a bit of a thing for us. It was a bit more this year because a good friend of ours is moving interstate, so it was the last one that he was with us for before he moved.
Yep.
So we're like, "Nah, okay, we're not playing the Pels this week."
Yep.
It is what it is. And after 12, 18 months in the works, the Pels uniforms were finally unveiled, and we weren't there for it.
Yep.
I wasn't happy, was I? I was a bit down in the dumps about it.
You were furious. Well, not furious, but you were like, of all the weekends.
Of all the weeks, yeah. Just the way it lined up, I was like, 1 week either side, we were laughing.
Yeah. It is what it is, mate.
So yeah, spoiler alert.
It balances out, mate. You missed out on uniforms. Have you check your bumhole by Tom Cardy gets 11th? You know, it's the universe has an interesting way of working, mate.
Yeah. Now that you put it like that, I wouldn't change it for the world. Should we get into Run It Back?
Let's do it.
Okay, so running it back. We're here 2 weeks in a row. If you're paying attention, so there's not as much cricket for us to catch up on, so we can kind of take it a little easier this episode. I don't feel like we do have as many headlines to get through.
Yeah.
But that being said, do you want to kick us off with the first headline?
Yes, we'll do. So the women's Ashes series is kicked off.
The Washes.
The Washes. Never heard it called that. Is that a
Really?
thing?
I don't know. Is it a thing?
The Washes. Have you heard of the Washes before? I haven't. I don't mind it.
Well, I'm happy to. I don't think I came up with it, but I'm happy to claim credit for it. But I don't think it was me.
It was. It's either way. It kicked off, and as we know, it's a combined series with 2020s one days and the one test, as opposed to the men's Ashes series. So a couple of the 2020s were cancelled without bowling a ball, but the first 2020 happened. And tell you what, I remember last time we were talking about the Australian women's cricket team. Pretty sure we brought up the name Talia McGrath, and we're going to bring it up again because she had a blinder of a game. Took 3 for 26 with the ball and hit 91 off 49 balls with the bat.
That's a fair fucking game. It's up there with the game that's and I fucking hate that I'm doing this. The game that Lukey Artner took 5 for and made 90.
I don't think we've brought that up on this show before.
First year of the Pels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I actually, I feel like that was a memory. It was like we brought it up so many times during that year and the year after. But when you said that, I haven't heard it
Memory
in so
unlocked?
long. Absolutely. What a beautiful memory too.
Just to bring it back down to earth, he also won the Duck Award that year.
The universe has a interesting
perfectly
way.
balanced. Isn't it? You got Tom Cardy. All right. So, yeah, Tahlia McGrath, we've definitely mentioned it before, and she is a fucking star.
Absolutely.
All right, I'll keep it moving. So, England, West Indies, the T20, they raced straight from Australia to the West Indies. And, the first T20, the West Indies dominated. Bowling England out for 103. Jason Holder was ridiculous with the ball. Took 4 for 7, it says here. So, again, that's a pretty good day out.
Pretty good day out. They also won the second T20 as well, but it was much closer. And it shouldn't have been that close.
No, it shouldn't have been that close. It shouldn't have been that close.
They won by 1 run, and so the last over bowled by Saqib Mahmood went for 28 runs, right?
Yeah.
That's insane.
The last 3 balls all went for 6.
So the fact that, it still goes down as a win in the books. So it's bowled pretty well, mate. Closed out the game.
Yeah. Well, winning games by a run. I wonder if that's if we've ever had any experience with that.
We're not going to talk about it, mate.
No, well played. I'll keep it moving. Again, headlines. I tagged you this on Facebook. I don't know if you remember watching the video. Once a gate, always a gate. Andre Russell, the most bizarre run out I've ever seen in the Bangladesh Premier League.
Yes.
So direct hit.
Yep.
So he's played it to like a late sort of cut down to short third man.
Yep.
They've run a single, and the fielder was throwing at the keeper's end because that's obviously the closest one he's to. The non-striker made his ground brilliantly, made it, and it's a good thing he did because the ball hit the stumps, direct hit. It then ricocheted off the stumps and hit the other stump, the other end. Obviously, Andre Russell was just watching as, the danger end.
Yeah. I'm fine. I can jog back in.
And then, the ricochet obviously happened way quicker than he thought, and he was caught short of his ground.
Caught short. Did he slide his bat?
Nah.
Not at the danger end.
Not at the danger end, no. The weirdest run out I think I've ever seen.
I reckon those stumps need to go down in the scorebook.
Oh, like an assisted run out. I don't know who the fielder was, but like run out by fielder and stumps.
Yeah, if anything, it's more the stumps. The assist can go to the fielder, but the stumps are the,
Yeah. All right, I'll pay that.
Yep. Anyway, I'm talking shit. BBL's been going on.
BBL has been going on. The finals are here. And what I've written down here is the name of all the finals because they've all got weird random names. So
BBL has a knack of finding names for things.
Gimmicky. We love it. So the first final, I believe, is called the Eliminator. I could be wrong because I don't understand the names.
Yes.
The Strikers beat the Hurricanes by 22 runs. And once a gate, always a gate. Matty Short, who decided to get good after leaving the Gades, which we love.
That's happened a few times, I believe.
Also, get out of my sister's DMs.
Another one.
Yeah.
Another one.
Oh, she's going to be pissed that I said that. It's all right. We won't tell Jake Fraser McGurk or Mackenzie Harvey or... I'm sorry, Abby. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Habibi. We love you, man.
So, Matty Short... I can't believe I've just done that. So, Matty Short, 89 or 48. Solid partnership between Short and Carey at the start proved to be the difference. And then the qualifier as well. That also happened. Scorchers cruised to beat the Sixers by 48 runs. Spoiler alert, shock, horror. The Scorchers are into another BBL final.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, Josh Inglis, the standout there, made 79 or 49.
I know.
Great knock.
I've said this before. Like usually when I watch cricket, I don't really care who wins. I like watching the game, but I really hope the Strikers win. The last thing I want to see is another Scorchers Sixers final. It's just boring when it's the two same teams every single time.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
the knockout, I believe it was called,
Yeah, I think it is.
the
Yeah.
most recent game that happened against the Thunder and the Strikers was an absolute thriller of a game. Brilliant game. Ian Cobain from England came in and hit a real nice 60 odd, which sort of powered the Strikers to about 180 odd, and then pretty solid total. And the Thunder were decent in replying up until the point when Khawaja got out. Khawaja
Uzi.
was caught by Fawad Ahmed, but did you see much
No,
of
I
this?
don't know what you're talking about here. I actually haven't seen this.
A very contentious drop, catch.
Ooh.
Well, catch / drop catch.
Tells how you really feel, man.
It sort of brought up the whole discussion of the soft signal, because it's very much, the umpire's call with. I understand the umpire's call with LBW, because it's very much, there is a margin of error and you need something to base it off.
To split it.
It, right? The umpire's call with catches, I think, is much more hard to take, especially if it's a catch, say, out and deep.
Where the umpires are nowhere near.
Umpire's nowhere near that. A soft signal from the umpire is not really going to say much. If anything, they'll probably ask the fielder, and the fielder will be like, "Yeah, I got it," or "I don't know."
Yeah.
And if the fielder goes, "I don't know," then the soft signal will be like, "Not out." If the fielder goes, "Yeah, I caught it," then the soft signal will be out. That changes the complete verdict, really. So
soft signal was out, and it was out.
That's the only reason it was given out, because the soft signal was out.
So if that doesn't happen, is the result different?
Oh, the game. Sorry, I got so caught up in the soft signal.
Oh, yeah,
thing.
sorry.
Yeah.
I worded that clearly poorly. I don't know what I'm talking about.
The game continued.
Really?
Yes, it actually.
They didn't start rioting in the streets.
As much as I wanted to stop watching after Uzi got out. But Thunder still did pretty well. There was a brilliant partnership between Jason Sanger. Once again, brilliant tournament for him.
He's a star.
Jason Sanger and Alex Ross. And they got really close, but fell just short, lost by 6 runs. So Strikers going through to verse the Sixers.
Yeah, so that is the challenger. So the winner of the Sixers and Strikers faces the Scorchers.
Scorchers.
Yeah, hopefully for the sake of mixing it up a little bit, we do see the Strikers get up. Because that'd be good. So that's happening tomorrow.
I think so, yes.
So, recording this a day earlier than we usually do. So
I always forget about the time delay.
Yeah. Happy Thursday, he says on Tuesday. But so what we're doing here this week, the big story happened right before the BBL finals. It actually happened while we were recording our last episode.
That's right.
So just quietly, and it pains me to say this, the Melbourne Stars made 2 for 273 off their 20 overs. It still doesn't sound right. It still does not sound right.
It's incredible.
It's actually stupid. It's so good. So a whopping 13.65 runs and over for the entire innings. Ridiculous. That's like PlayStation stats, really.
Yeah. And immediately the first thing I think of is like the team chasing. It's like, when the required run rate goes above 10 or 11 in a chase, it's like, they're starting to get it's starting to get hard now. It's right from the start.
Starts before the first ball. Yeah. Crazy. Absolutely stupid. So the third best T20 score of all time. That's all competitions, national, domestic. Everything. Of all time. So, once again, always again, I'm going to bring it back to us. Once again, always again, Glenn Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxie.
The star of the show, second century of the tournament, the highest ever BBL score. He had 154 not out of 64 balls. I can't wrap my head around that. If I face 64 balls, A, it's a miracle, and B, I'm on about 13. And that's being optimistic.
It's probably more than me, but anyway. Yeah.
The whole thing was fucking ridiculous, but one of the most ridiculous parts was Marcus Stoinis just being so overshadowed by it. Like, if you make 75 not out off 31 balls, you're man of the match every fucking time.
Absolutely.
Every time. But yeah, so they fucking smashed him. As you said, if the run rate's above 10 and over required, yeah, it's getting a bit dicey, and they needed 13 they needed 13.7 or something in the end.
We should do a episode on like getting overshadowed, I reckon. Maybe some.
Oh, it was Stoinis.
Yeah. Stoinis.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's happened a few times. Like when someone does incredibly well and the person down the other end's doing really well too, but it's just like no one cares or no one.
I'm trying to think of an example.
I'm sure there's so many. It's one of those things like off the top of your head, it's hard. But.
Yeah. Oh, Mike Hussey made 150 odd not out in the test match that
Michael Clark
made 325 not out.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Right, leave that with us.
Yeah,
we'll have that sorted. But yeah, so inspired by that Stars game and Maxwell's innings, and I guess Stoinis' innings, we're just going to go through some. We're going to run it back. This is an old school run it back because last week probably wasn't so much.
Oh yeah.
After our YouTube cancellation.
Oh my goodness. Are we going to bring it up?
Nope. No.
We're not going to talk about it?
We're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to run it back through some rapid scores, some absolutely blistering knocks at some ridiculous strike rates, and Ashton's going to kick us off, I think.
Correct. I will kick us off with, I think we've touched on this one before, so I'll be quite brief on it. I think we forget probably playing with freedom that episode.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's worthy of a second mention, though, I'm just going to say.
One of the greatest innings of all time. AB de Villiers, 149 off 44 balls. It brought up his ton after 31 balls. Fastest century in one-day cricket ever to this day. Just, I was going back through the highlights. It's just phenomenal. And you really figure out why he has the nickname Mr. 360, because the stroke play is just everywhere. And he will move left and right, utilize the entire crease like no other. And it's just incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, manipulate the field as well. You put a fielder there, he'll just find a different gap that you wouldn't have even thought of. It was
when I was watching it, I did notice one thing. It was like, sometimes when you watch highlights, it's just like, that was a pretty shit ball. That deserved to be spanked. Mm-hmm. That was a pretty shit ball. Yeah, short bowling, again, it's dispatched. Some of these balls that he was getting in that knock were pretty good from like Dwayne Smith and some of the West Indian bowlers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was like a Yorker that was perfectly placed, and he sort of just like wedges it out, like just angles his bat, and it goes between gully and point and just flies to the rope for four. And your good balls are going to the rope for four like that. That is special.
See, I relate to that because...
To going to the rope for four.
Well, that part as well, but now my Yorkers just not getting wickets like they used to.
Really? You passed your prime, mate?
Well, that implies that I had a prime. Actually, that was probably it, to be fair. Have I mentioned that I took like 45 wickets that season? Have I mentioned that?
I think you have. I think it'll come back once we get the uniforms. I think
it was, yeah.
That's what we've been missing, uniforms.
10 years ago. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm very excited for that. Anyway, sorry I got sidetracked. Did you have anything more to say on ABD?
I think we've said enough about AB. What a special character he is. But take it away.
That was a ridiculous scoreline. There. Alrighty, I'll move it on. Yuvraj Singh. Fastest 50.
Yep.
50 off 12 balls. Now, you'd be disappointed, though, because you got out on ball 16. Only made 58 runs. It's pretty...
short stay.
Yeah. When you face 16 balls, what are you on, you reckon? Are you off the mark yet?
No. Notice the no hesitation there?
No, that was the most confidence most confident you've ever sounded on the show. 100%. Famously hit Stuart Broad for 6 sixes in an over.
In one over, yes.
So yeah, 36 off 6 kind of helps bump the strike rate up just a little bit.
Yeah, it would. It's jeez.
It was in the first ever T20 World Cup too. So what a way for
I
guess the game of
T20
cricket in general to kind of enter the scene, right?
Back in, I think it was
on the world stage,
07 or something like that.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a sort of a just think about sort of promoting the game of cricket as well to the world and everything. Wow, what a way to start it off.
I've kind of mentioned it before as well, but like T20 as a product.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good advertisement for it. You're speaking of like the good balls that AB managed to get away. A lot of those balls were in the slot from Brody. A lot of them were in the slot, and they went. They bloody went.
They went.
But yeah, that's another one that's, you look at the score going, what the fuck just happened? Obviously, it didn't last as long as AB did, but
no,
that's a fair knock.
Short stay, but a good stay.
Make it worth your while.
Much like Chris Gale, mate. Once a gade, always a gade.
Once a gade, always a gade.
50 off 12 balls to match Yuvraj Singh.
Yep.
And I believe you were at the game, right?
I was at the game. I think we needed... So we were chasing like 170 odd, but we needed to get it within like 14, 15 overs to get the net run rate high enough to qualify for finals.
For finals, that's right.
And so, yeah, Chris Gale walked out and he looked on a mission.
Yeah.
He looked like he meant business. He had his gold Spartan bat. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And... yeah, I think the first over went for 27. And we were like, oh, okay. And then Tommy Cooper, the other end, got out first ball. But yeah, he made 50 off 12. Yeah, as you said, to match Yuvraj, which is some fucking unbelievable hitting. As you know, I've been going to the Renegades for a few years now, and some of the biggest sixes I've seen, some of the cleanest hits. Yeah, getting comfortably second, third deck.
Yeah. And both on the leg side and offside, because I remember like there was a couple of short balls that he just on the front foot, didn't even bother going back, rocking back, just plant front foot, short ball, pulling it for six into the second or third deck. And then there was a couple of full tosses that he dispatched over cover and like.
Yeah, was it against the Strikers? I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a pretty young, I don't know if he was young, but he was quite inexperienced, and he bowled a couple of no ball full tosses.
Yes.
They're like hip height, like above hip height, and he just kind of turned them, and they just flew. I was like, oh, what? What is going on?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Was that the last, am I right, was that the last time he ever played in the Big Bash or for the Renegades?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It was after all the Don't Blush Baby stuff.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's always been quite a controversial character.
Yeah.
I miss his hitting though.
What a way to go too. Like, I reckon he knew. He was like, this is my last time here. Let's give him a show.
Yeah. It definitely had that feel to it.
Nuts.
And then he got out to Travis Head. I remember them. I don't know who was captain of the Strikers at the time, but I remember thinking this over's either going to go for 30, or they're going to get him.
Yeah,
like, it's just something's going to happen.
Yeah.
First ball, head bowled, went for 6. I'm like, he's on
30. Yeah,
he's on today. He's fucking on. And then tried the same shot and got caught on the boundary and was like, okay. And then so Head made a duck. I looked it up in the scorecard earlier. Head made a duck
in the same game.
Yeah. And then took 3 for and got man of the match because it just turned the game.
That's crazy. Jeez, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes, but I mean, you look at the score. You look at the score at the run rate 27 and over. You think, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck? So I think that definitely fits the bill of run it back today.
Yep.
As does another Chris Gale innings, if you don't mind.
I think he's well deserved of another mention.
I think so.
Yes.
I feel like I just took over your last one. You kind of you were at the game for it, and I just kind of took over. I do apologise.
It's better to have first-hand experience, mate.
Well, I wasn't here for this one in the IPL. So he holds the record for the fastest ever century in any form of T20 cricket. April 2013, he reached the milestone of 30 balls. 30 balls to reach his ton. He was striking it, casual 265.
Yeah.
17 sixes, 13 fours, and he finished 175 not out of 66 balls. So think about that. He faced 11 overs. Imagine being 175 after 11 overs.
Yeah, and that's
which I
still
guess,
not... That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Which, that is the highest ever T20 score, the highest ever individual T20 score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Madness.
That's insane. Well, so he faced 11.
So 66 balls he faced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 11 overs in that sense. Yeah. I thought he was only in for 11 overs.
Oh, no, he was not out.
Of the game.
Yeah.
And for a second, I was like, oh, my goodness.
Sorry, you know how like stats can be manipulated? That's what I was doing. I was kind of twisting that to suit the narrative, I guess.
Yep. No, I applaud it. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
mate. Appreciate
That's
it.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm going to run it back a while, actually, to I'd say a very iconic innings in the eyes of some. I've got Sri Lankan heritage, Sri Lankan background.
Yep.
So when we talk about huge strikers of the game, Sanath Jayasuriya comes up a lot. And my goodness, ridiculous scorelines. There was a game against Pakistan in 1995-96.
In Singapore.
Yes, in Singapore of all places. And there were plenty of records that he broke at that time. All of these have sort of
Been broken since.
been broken.
Yeah.
But regardless, at the time, it was the fastest century in limited overs cricket. It took him 48 balls to get to 100. And he hit the most sixes in a limited overs game. Hit 11 sixes. There was one particular over. One of the bowlers that was bowling to him went for 30, one wide, and Jayasuriya scored 29 runs in the other 5 balls, and that was a record.
Mm-hmm.
We know that's been broken with the 6 sixes and everything since, but and the highest match aggregate in a limited overs international
At the time.
because both teams had a total. I think Sri Lanka made about 300 and what was it, 390 odd. I think the total aggregate of both runs was 664. So big runs. Big
runs. That's a record breaking match. And you look at the score and you go, what the fuck? Yeah,
Certainly.
Absolutely. That does. Yeah, we were watching the highlights before. That's one that does stick in the mind. I've got one more. I know we usually do run it back in order. We go back reverse chronologically.
Yes, through time. Yeah.
So I'm going to run it back, but run it forward before get forward, if that's all right.
I like it.
So New Year's Day, 2014.
Yes.
Corey Anderson. Now, the reason I bring this one up is because I feel he's been a bit hard done by in the history books.
Yep.
So it was the highest ever one-day score until AB de Villiers came along and broke it.
Not long after.
And it was like a year and 2 weeks after, I think. So it deserved to be the record for longer, which is why I'm bringing it up. So shout out to Corey Anderson, big fan of the show.
Shout out to Corey Anderson.
We never say that anymore. Big fan of the show. We don't say it enough.
That's true.
We used to say it more. If you know, you know.
We need to bring it back. Anyway.
So he finished 131 not out off 47 balls. That's crazy. You know, a casual strike rate of 278. He brought his century up in 36 balls. Yep, striking at 278, hitting 14 sixes. He hit 14 sixes in an innings. I've hit 0 sixes in my life. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Have I.
Huh?
As have I.
How many sixes?
0. No surprises there.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Sorry.
Inbox if need. Fun fact about this match, though, is it was reduced to 21 over innings. So each
basically 2020.
Yep. But despite the rain, New Zealand managed to post 4 for 283, which is a respectable 50 over score.
That's insane.
Yeah.
In basically a 2020.
Yeah. Obviously, thanks to Corey Anderson. So yeah, I had to bring that one up because, as I said, he was hard done by.
Yes.
On the wrong side of history, I think.
Yeah, in the history books, absolutely. Get forward.
We do run it back, and then to bring it back, we get forward. So, thoughts on the coach voted team of the tournament for BBL 11?
Yeah, I did see this.
Do you want to run us through it?
Yes, I will. I guess lots of them were very predicted names. Ben McDermott,
Player of the tournament, he was,
player
yeah.
of the tournament by a long stretch. Josh Phillippe, the gloves. Joe Clark, I think he hit 4 or 5 50s in a row in consecutive games.
Yeah, yep.
Mitch Marsh, quite consistent, been very good ever since that breakout. I think the 2020 World Cup last year really.
I think quite a bit before that as well, to be honest. He's been dominating BBL for some time.
BBL. Yeah, absolutely. Matt Short, once again, always go.
I'm trying to remember if he was ever in any BBL team of the tournaments when he was still at the Renegades.
Maybe. You never know.
It's good. I like it.
Moses Enriquez.
Yep. I feel like he's in every year.
Probably. It's just 'cause the Sixers and the Scorchers are... Most of this team is just Sixers and Scorchers, by the way. Daniel Sams. Yep. Rashid Khan. That last, what a way to go as well. I think the sixer in his last game.
Did I tell you about my tweet that I posted during this last game?
No.
So he's a bit like me in the fact that he gets frustrated when he doesn't take wickets.
Yes.
And it was like, I think it was 1.5 overs in, and he got hit. It was a stupid shot and didn't deserve to go before, and it did. And he just looked mad. Yeah. So I said something, I can't remember what I said now. Something along the lines of, I look exactly the same as Rashid Khan when I'm not taking wickets either. Yeah. And then, I think he took 2 and 2 balls, and then he ended up on 6-for. So pretty good effort there.
Not a bad effort indeed. Hayden Kerr, Andrew Ty, been in that team plenty of times. The BBL team of the tournament, and Peter Siddle, most wickets. So, what an effort from Peter Siddle to
the evergreen Peter Siddle.
My goodness. Sean Abbott and Jason Sanger were named as the X Factors. Both had brilliant tournaments. We've mentioned how good Jason Sanger's been too.
I think the only thing that I'd comment on, the only thing I'd not really disagree with, but just mention, Sean Abbott and Jason Sanger, very, very hard done by to only be the X Factor players there.
I think so too.
But then who would you bring out?
For Sanger or
for either of
them? Geez, it's tough, isn't it? Maybe Clark or yeah, it's tough.
It is.
As we've said, it's always hard being a selector.
It is hard being a selector.
Glad we're not selectors.
Well, that's a weak as piss answer for get forward, so I think it's best that we move on to switch on.
Time to switch on. Switch on.
Okay, so switching on as we always do. First question for you, mate. We mentioned Chris Gayle has the highest individual T20 score of all time.
Yep.
What is the highest T20 team score of all time? And if you could tell me who scored it, I'd appreciate that as well.
Jeez. Ooh. So we said, how much did the Stars score again? 270 odd.
2 for 273. It was the third highest.
Okay, that narrows it down a bit. So I've created a benchmark there. Surely not 300. I don't think anyone's ever got to 300 before. I'm just trying to think of like super powerful players, super powerful innings. I feel like early on in the piece, Brendan McCullum used to go absolutely ballistic. And there were a few innings, both for New Zealand and when he played like for Calcutta Knight Riders in the IPL as well. So I'm just going to have a punt and say the Calcutta Knight Riders making 293.
I appreciate the logic there. You didn't take ages.
Yeah.
And you also weren't sitting there in silence going,
It's because we're talking about cricket.
Yeah, no, so fair. So it was Afghanistan.
What?
They made 3 for 278.
That's the highest.
That's the highest ever. And the second highest is the Czech Republic. They made 4 for 278. Yeah, I think they're playing some pretty niche teams. I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah. Is this like a Euro League or something? Or the Euros? When we're talking about the Euros and we're talking about cricket, the Euros, is that maybe?
We're trying to do, man. What the fuck are you trying to do to me here? One day it'll come home. I'm just going to move on because you pissed me off with that comment. Who scored the fastest BBL century? I reckon you might know this. Yeah, that was the that I was talking about.
It's back.
It's back. Did it ever really leave?
Got a feeling. I've just got a handful of players that come to mind. Darcy Short for some reason. Chris Lynn.
Certainly good names to throw in the conversation.
I feel like Watto as well for some reason. Watto's coming to mind.
He dominated for the Thunder. Him and Hussey on the Thunder.
Yeah. 2014, 15, 16.
Yeah.
I might just stick with Chris Lynn and just when he went one of the times he went absolutely ballistic and say Chris Lynn.
Alrighty. It's a good guess.
Yeah.
Definitely not a stupid guess at all.
Mm-hmm.
So remember what innings we based this episode on?
Yes.
We said Maxi. It wasn't Maxi.
Okay.
Yeah, he got within 2 balls of it.
I love Mr. X.
That was a community reference for anyone there. We snuck that one in again this week. So he hit the century off 41 balls. Maxi did last week. The highest, the fastest ever was Craig Simmons off 39 balls for the Scorchers. Believe it or not, the Scorchers. There you go. Do you remember now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. It's a very easy one to forget.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
What an innings that was.
My goodness. Yeah, that's another unlocked memory.
Yeah, sure. Right. I got one more for you, a bit more open-ended.
Yeah.
Because I know you like these ones.
I do.
We're talking ridiculous score lines, ridiculous scoring pace.
Yeah.
The most amount of runs you can score off one ball.
Yep.
One legal ball. 6.
Yes.
Who from the Narry Warren Pelicans can hit the biggest 6, do you think?
Jeez. It would. I'm just thinking who's probably the strongest on the team, and probably have to be. There's a few.
There's a few big boys. There's a few big boys in the Pels, and there's a couple of them sitting right here.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think you were thinking that way.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I wasn't. I was seeing if I could convince you.
Okay.
Just convince myself first, really.
Froggy comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Jeffers comes to mind as well.
He'd be stoked with that.
And I reckon Elk could hit a long bomb as well. So there you go. I can't pick one, but I'll give you 3.
He'd be the one that I'd say as well, considering he is the only Pale to have hit the roof at Berwick Fields.
Yes, true.
So I think that kind of guarantees him a mention at least.
Yeah.
But also shout out to Josh Dow for clearing the scoreboard at Narry North.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Of course, Dowie can hit big bombs.
We'll say those two. You right with that?
Yeah. No,
okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that's my questions for Switch On this week, mate. What do you got?
As per usual, open-ended sort of questions, inspired by this first one is anyway. Let's say you're the skipper of a hypothetical BBL team, right? Maxi is on 135 not out.
Yep.
Absolutely flying.
It's going well then, as a skipper of this team.
Absolutely flying as the Stars are trying to chase down your massive total that you set in the first innings.
Thanks, mate. How did I go with the bat?
Can't remember.
Probably didn't bat.
Can't remember if it was a high total. But so the Stars need 15 off the last over, and what's your plan bowling to a man that's that dangerous in that vein of form what's your game plan, and who would you bowl if you could pick anyone in the world?
Not Saqib Mahmood.
Why not?
Oh, well, they'd get it halfway through the over.
Mate, he gets the job done.
Yeah, wait. A dub's a dub. We'll take it. Do they have to, like, current players?
Yeah, I'll say current players. I'll say, anyone in the Big Bash, any BBL team.
Okay. All right. Okay. It's tough because a player... My first thought is someone who can take pace off the ball.
Yes.
So that Maxi has to generate as much of it himself as possible.
Correct. Yeah.
So someone with a lot of variation.
Yep.
Where are we playing as well, by the way?
That's a good question. I didn't think this through.
Because I'm thinking dimensions. So the G.
Let's say the G, yeah. Big square
you
boundaries.
Go back of a length because of the big square boundaries, right?
Correct. Back of the length, into the pitch, probably. Sorry, I'm answering.
No.
Yeah.
I'm loving this. I'm trying to think. Who bowls? Andrew Ty comes to mind.
Yeah. Yeah, not just slower balls, but different types of slower balls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Jackson Bird.
Yeah.
He usually does. Yeah, that's a bit left field, but he comes to mind because of the amount of times I've seen him dominate against the Renegades.
Yeah.
I feel like he hits just back of a length. He might not have as much variation as Ty.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else there is. I probably wouldn't I wouldn't bowl a spinner.
Okay. In that vein of form, I guess you wouldn't try because I guess you're not going for the wicket. Sometimes you bowl the spinner to try get the.
And if he's 135 not out, you've tried a spinner.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There's other players that are known for variation. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Reece Topley, Renegades?
Fuck that. No way.
No?
Peter Siddle?
Sid's isn't. He's got a little bit of variation.
Yeah.
More just consistency.
No, I'm going to go Andrew Ty.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Andrew Ty.
I back you in with that too. Definitely a very... I mean, he's been in the BBL tournament of the team of the tournament for years and years for that exact reason. He's not the quickest, but Ben Lachlan used to be really good at it too. But,
I thought of him as well because he had the back of the hand slow ball.
And he had a few other cutters and
but obviously not like playing.
Yeah,
but yeah, Andrew Ty. Shout out Andrew Ty.
Yeah, never given Andrew Ty a shout out.
It's because you hate the Scorchers. You literally said that on air just before.
I just want you
want cricket to be the winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, question 2. Let me take 2 bits of news and sort of combine them together. So, firstly, I don't like that look. You don't like where this is going.
I'm thinking. I don't like that it sounds like I'm going to have to do quite a bit of thinking in this.
Oh, you don't? It's not.
Okay, awesome. Carry on then.
First bit of news. The IPL auction is coming soon. It's a few weeks away. I think it's in mid-Feb.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first bit. Second, the ICC Awards just happened very recently.
Shout out to Joe Root.
Yes.
Test Player of the Year. Love you, Rudy.
Joe Root was the only non-Pakistani cricketer to win an award. Every other award was won by Pakistan. They absolutely dominated.
To be honest, fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Shaheen Afridi, Mohammad Rizwan, Babar Azam, incredible years, all of them. So that's the second thing, right? IPL, ICC Awards. I'm not sure if you're aware, you probably are. There are, I think since 2008 or 2009, there's Pakistani cricketers are disbarred from playing in the IPL.
Right.
Because of, I won't get into it.
Yeah.
2 countries don't really like each other, blah, 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 blah. So, hypothetically, if you could pick any one Pakistani cricket player to play for your IPL team, who would it be?
Babar Azam.
Nice.
Sorry, I know that was the longest question with the shortest answer. Yeah. Babar Azam or Mohammad Amir?
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Left arm rapid.
My goodness.
I mean, yeah, us left arm rapids, we have to look out for one another.
Plenty of swing too.
Plenty of swing.
But
more so the pace. That was the point I was making.
Sorry. Yes.
Fucking massive.
Yeah. Hit sixes. And
so many sixes. Who would you say?
probably Sheena Freddie.
Yeah.
Just because he I forget how many. I think he took like 78 wickets or something last year.
78?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was something.
Jesus Christ.
It was unbelievable. It was insane.
It's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Sandshoe crushing Yorkers and plenty of swing.
Get ready for broken fucking time.
And bowling heat as well. I'd probably say him.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. That was a pretty good switch on, I think. That had a bit of everything.
Yeah, it was a solid. If we were to like promote this segment or like find something that encapsulates this segment, like best represents the segment, I feel like we'd do that. Like that today was like this segment as it's in its true form.
Don't mind us as we're just doing some sort of post-show breakdown mid-show. Let's get into my mate's multi, shall we?
Let's do it.
Money!
Alrighty, time for my mate's multi. Running through my legs from last week.
Hit us, mate. Hit us with it.
Leg one, I said Nivedhan Radhakrishnan would take a wicket. He's an ambidextrous bowler.
Yeah.
Take a wicket with both bowling arms in the next Australian under-19s game. He wasn't even picked for the game.
So that's a
no.
I think you were this close.
I was close. Because if he had been picked, there was a chance that he could have potentially done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means fuck all.
That's a joke. Anyway, leg two. So 0 from 1. Leg two, Ben McDermott to not make another 100 before the next episode. That's yeah. But to be fair, it was a pretty poor leg on my behalf.
No.
It was a safety.
We're fine with shit-housing your way to getting a leg. I'm fine with that.
Yep. Okay.
So 1 out of 2?
1 out of 2. And leg 3, I said there will be a controversial umpiring decision in the Big Bash Eliminator.
What game was the controversial one in?
Not the.
Hold on. I'm finding where this is. In the knockout.
Yes,
so you were too specific.
I was too specific. I should have just said in a BBL final game. But then again, it's quite open. Yeah. But no, once again, 1 from 3.
So the classic 1 out of 3.
Classic. Safety.
Always chalks up for that.
That's it.
Alrighty, mine from last week. So I said we will see an upset in one of the BBL finals.
Yes.
And that's happened. I'm going to argue that happened.
Yep.
So the Strikers beat the Thunder. The Thunder were, one of the top 3 teams all season.
Yes.
And so got knocked out by the 4th team. It's not that much of an upset, but I'm taking it.
I think the fact that the Strikers were at the bottom of the ladder, and then won 6 games in a row, ended up sneaking into finals. It's an upset.
I'm taking it. Thank you very much. Now I also said that leg 2. I said the 2 ODIs on the same day last week.
Yeah.
So I think it was the Friday into Saturday morning kind of thing. I think could be wrong.
Yeah.
So South Africa were playing India and Sri Lanka were playing Zimbabwe, and I said Sri Lanka would score more runs than South Africa.
That's right.
Sri Lanka scored 254 and South Africa made 288. So no go on that one.
Picked the wrong team.
Yeah. I was umming and ahhing with it and I just went the wrong way. Usually I try and think of something as random as possible and then just go that way. Let's go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're often 50-50 at best of times. And they're pretty niche to begin with. And then, speaking of niche, here we go. I said that we will see a shock retirement from Test cricket. Now, I told you off air who I had in mind.
Yes, you did.
And it hasn't happened.
No.
There was a bombshell which came out. But yeah, he was already retired. So
yes. Brennan Taylor.
We're not going to talk about it.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, we can talk about it. You want to talk about it?
Oh, I mean, Brennan Taylor, Zimbabwe captain, retired last year, I believe. Late last year, mid to late last year. But I think that he popped up in the news again lately because of the controversy. I think the match fixing and whatnot.
The way it all ended.
Yes. So
1 out of 3 was the point there. Yeah.
Okay.
Classic.
There's comfort in that, isn't it?
There really is. There's something like when you say my mate's multi, and then when we both get 1 out of 3, it's like home.
It is, right? It feels right. Okay, this week, leg 1. Are you aware of there's this ambidextrous spinner in the Australian 19s?
You might have mentioned him once or twice, maybe a few episodes ago though.
Yeah, potentially.
What are you picking him to do?
I think because he bowls with left hand and right hand.
He's ambidextrous. Yeah.
So I feel like in the next game that the Aussie under-19 team plays,
that he'll be picked for.
That he'll be picked for.
Yeah.
He'll take a wicket with both bowling arms. Yeah.
I wonder if that'll get up. That's a huge call. That's just come out of the blue.
I know, right?
Wow.
Just, I just thought about it.
Yeah.
And I thought, idea came to mind. So
Here's a chance.
Got to say it. Leg 2.
Yep.
Elise Perry to have a strike rate of between 60 and 80 during her first innings of the Ashes Test.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah. That's cool. I would have said somewhere either side of 70. That's how I would have worded the leg. But no, we'll give it to you.
Okay.
Between 60 and 80. No, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because she was dropped from the 2020 side. Did you see that?
No?
She hasn't played the 2020s.
Really?
She got cut from the side, yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
So it'll be, I feel like it might be a message, like in the test that they play, she might score at a pretty fast rate.
Yeah.
Maybe in the 70s. And sort of be I can score runs pretty quickly.
Yeah. I like it's still a little bit niche, your leg, but you've also put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
I rate that.
Thanks, mate. Leg 3. At least one batter will be dismissed hit wicket in the next 2 BBL games. So
I fucking hope that gets up.
Yeah?
That'd be great.
Yeah. It's very low chance of getting up, but you know what? I'm just going to send it,
Looking at these legs here to get you 1 out of 3 like we always do.
Yeah.
You're relying a lot on Elise Perry there.
I am, yeah, because they're very, very dicey. You know what? Just
that's the way we do it here.
Send it.
All right, I'll give you my legs. So I said the most runs in the BBL final will be scored by a left-hander.
I like that.
Because that doesn't specify teams that are making the final. It doesn't specify who's going to score runs. They're just going to be the top individual score will be a left-hander.
Yeah, because it's niche, but at the same time, it's not. It's not safe, but it's like relatively safe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a decent chance of getting up, and it's niche.
Thank you. Leg 2. The West Indies will concede more than 354 runs against India in their first ODI.
More than 354.
More than 354.
Okay.
And then leg 3.
Yep.
They won't come. I'll just say it. Virat Kohli will have not scored a century between now and our next episode. You might have heard he's on a bit of a dry spell.
Yes.
And that is going to continue. And he won't be. Those 354 runs won't come from Kohli.
Okay.
For the most part.
Yeah, if you get 354, you'd think someone gets 100. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't been like seriously out of form though. He's hit a few decent knocks, but just hasn't got to 100.
He's got a few 60s and 70s, which I mean, you fucking take that any day of the week. But so there we go. We'll see if those get up.
Yes, we'll do.
Alrighty, that's going to do it for another week. Thanks for tuning in again. Appreciate you sticking on this journey with us. We say it a lot. Going to keep saying it. Happy to have your company again. Don't forget, though, we've mentioned had a mini war with YouTube. Don't forget, subscribe there because we might be wearing something a little sexy next week. You don't want to miss out on the video for that.
Uniforms, mate.
Spoiler alert!
Sorry,
but yes, we're going to be wearing the uniforms.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. Don't ever apologize.
I was so used to not spoiling after because he saw Spider-Man about 7 weeks after everyone else did.
Yeah, I'd already seen all the spoilers anyway, yeah. Spoiler alert, and I'm not going to say. There might be 1 or 2 people there that still haven't seen it.
True.
So yeah, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, do all that.
On all of the thingies. We're on TikTok now as well, right?
We are on TikTok, yeah. At Fine Leg to Full Forward, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe. And last but not least, go listen to Miss Sunshine. The man is a wizard. There's one last plug.
Thanks, mate. One last
plug. Until the next one. Go on, finish her up.
Keep taking wickets.